thank you all for coming in. I'm Alan Rowland. I'm the Business Development Manager for the Education and Careers Program. Our speaker is the author of over 40 books. He writes for the McGraw-Hill organization and also has done a video series that's been translated into a number of languages for LearnKey. He's the president of Total Seminars, and you've all probably heard of Meyers. Please give him a nice welcome here.
All right, man, it's like, we're going to give you an hour to talk. I can't do an introduction, you know. Just so you guys know, I'm the president of Total Seminars. Total Seminars is a whole bunch of computer nerds. We sit around all day and play with computers and networks, and then we tell people about them. We started as a seminar company. We still do seminars. If you work for the FBI, you had me or one of my guys teaching you. Federal Aviation Administration, every branch of the military, just about every automaker I can think of quickly. I've taught everywhere from Schofield Barracks in Honolulu, you know, jet lag idiots, to really weird places like Florida. Banger name all over the place. But when people ask me what my company is, that's what we are. So we're kind of like BASF. We don't necessarily put our name on the product, we just edit it. So what I want to do is talk to you about, also I love playing with computers all day long. As soon as I get back, probably even tonight, I'm going to be messing with SATA 150 megabit versus SATA 300 megabit, and I'm actually going to be putting through some cases to see what the actual throughput is, because, well, an important term, if you deal with me much, CIC, because it's cool, man. All right. What else have I done? This week we finally got to set up a nice SLI system. You know what? You guys, raise your hand if you know what SLI is. Okay, SLI is when you take two video cards and push one monitor so you can play Counter-Strike faster. You know why SLI stinks? You lose dual monitors. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. Put in two video cards, you can only use one monitor. How many of you guys use dual monitors? How many people use more than two monitors? Has anybody seen the new Dell 24-inch monitor that came out yesterday? How much was it? $700 for a 24-inch monitor. Yeah, my credit card is still on fire. Oh yeah, I didn't tell my partner that. Okay, anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about teaching the new A+ exam. I'm kind of like, just like Chris earlier. Yeah, I have all these nice PowerPoints, but I can just go totally off them. I don't care. What I want to do first of all is talk about the exams. I'm going to give you my opinion, okay? I love CompTia. I love these new changes. I'm excited. I always hated the hardware operating system concept. To me, that was always weird. PCs aren't hardware and operating system. It was a hangover from the mainframe days that we couldn't shake. We've shaken it finally. I like the way the tests are breaking down, but I have some opinions. In other words, I'm not an apologetic for CompTia. I love it. If there's things I don't like too, and as those come up, we'll talk about those. One of the things is I'm pretty much going to be concentrating on 601 and 602. All right? 603 and 604. Has anybody actually read the objectives yet? Has anybody actually gone through the domains? Go through them. Basically, 603 and 604 are subsets of 602. In the 603 exam, they take out printers, they take out some of the networking stuff, and then in the 604 exam, they take out all the soft skills, and I forgot what was one of the things they take out, some of the operating system stuff. The Ecotech is much more hardware oriented, okay? But there ain't nothing on 604 that isn't on 602. There ain't nothing on 603 that isn't on 602. Rashansy? You got it? Okay. So my attitude is I'm going to go with 601, 602, and I'm going to be writing for that. Now, McGraw-Hill and other folks may take my manuscripts and come up with a 603, 60 version, and I'll look at it and put my seal of approval on it, but I'm a 601, 602 kind of guy. And that's what my stress is going to be, and certainly the stuff I'm generating right now is going in that direction. So, when you talk about, do I need a little manual or something? No, we just need to go like this through certain parts of the chapters, okay? Yeah. So what's in it? First of all, the technology updates, no great surprises there. The only technologies that didn't show up that kind of surprised me, you're not going to see any iSCSI or anything more offbeat. SCSI 3 standards other than SATA. You guys know that SATA drives are SCSI drives. Did you know that? It's all part of the SCSI 3 standard. We don't talk about it that way, but they really are. Okay? And I don't want to confuse the kids this early on in the process. SATA is just the new type of 88 hard drive. That's all I do. Okay? There's some crazy stuff with CPUs, though. Boy, they are hitting hyper-threading. They're hitting dual processor. Okay, man. How many guys use my books? What's wrong with the rest of you people? For you guys to use my books, you know how I do the old man box thing? I totally jazzed them up now. We got multiple conveyor belts of pipeline guys in there, and they're splitting stuff up and spreading into each other. We learn from people when we do new videos. There's just like all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to blow the doors off. Hard drives is SATA, SCSI's faded. It's still in and faded. There's a bunch of security. Now, the word security drives me insane. I hate the word security because it's meaningless. What's security? It's like saying cookie. Well, there's all kinds of cookie. And it depends on what you're doing is, what's important. I mean, passwords, right? Robust passwords, which has always been on A+. We've had security A+ from, I wouldn't say day one, but early on. But basically what they've done in the domains is globbed it together. Yes, I do have a security chapter coming up in my book, but basically it was for the weirder stuff like, public key infrastructure and things like that wouldn't necessarily fit nice and pretty under hard drives or operating system login or stuff like that, you know what I mean? So for me, most of my security stuff is spread out through the courseware, but then I have one little security chapter for and this too, that kind of thing. We're going to cover some of that. Yeah, you finally really need to know what a certificate is. So how many people have a public key? Come on, be honest. We'll talk about that too. All right. There's a lot more laptops. We have some serious equipment upgrades in your future, and we're going to talk about that. More networks, yes, more equipment, and more troubleshooting too. The thing you got to remember is that, soft skills. Let me go back to soft skills for a minute. Soft skills, if you take a look at the domains, in the domains for 601, 602, and 604, the domains as listed by CompTia currently are the exact same domains in all three. All right? So basically, as Chris was alluding to earlier, there's going to be some overlap. I speculate, without any way of basis of proof, that soft skill, you're not going to see a different set of soft skill. It's not like it's going to be one type of soft skill questions and one test another type. Take a big pile of soft skills questions and then spread them. That's my speculation on that, right? Okay? The other thing about soft skills that you guys got to remember is that CompTia has not stated that there is any particular methodology that they're using. Okay? They're not saying we're going with this person's soft skills methodology or this school of soft skill thought. There's stuff like that out there, okay? I again speculate without any basis of fact that what we're going to be looking at is like the old A+, where we had just good old 4 sets questions. The customer is calling in, you bash them on the head, give them a karate chop or answer their question type stuff. I'm actually going to be using, how many guys have heard me talking about a book I've been promising to write for like the last 4 years called 70 Art of PC Troubleshooting? Yeah, well, I actually had a lot of stuff written on it, and I've never used it. I'm using it. And basically, stress on communication, stress on presentation, stress on what I call expectations management, which is a big problem that people run into. It's like, oh, I'm going to fix your computer. They're like, yay! And then you don't, or there's a problem. And how do you deal with expectations management? Other stuff like that. And I'm going to be using that as the core of my stuff in there. We'll see if it works. I think it's pretty good. There wouldn't be anything in there that you wouldn't go, well, sure. You know what I mean? But it has to be listed out. How many of you guys work with Skills USA? Okay, how many of you guys don't know what Skills USA is? Oh, okay, we got to talk about that. Well, Skills USA, I think, does a great job with dealing with, there are competitions that actually deal with like interview and stuff like that. And it shocks me. In fact, the first time I did it was with David in Waco. I was at a Skills USA competition, and I thought I was going to be judging computers. And he was like, no, here, Don. He's kind of like, hey, Mike, can you go over here and help judge the interview? I'm like, sure, And what to you and I is horse sense, to the 17, early 20-year-old person is not horse sense. And it just, Well, we're old.